This video is an introduction to 3D materials. I'm going to take you to the icks. Back to the basics. So if it feels like I'm only moving part of my mouth, it's because on vacay I had a little accident on the jet skis. I was just jumping waves, just flying over waves. And at one time I landed and my shoes, I had these little water shoes on, my shoes just slipped out and I just face planted into the handlebars. I really am this cool. I've been super excited to make this video. The rush that 3D has given me in my life over the past couple of years is just incredible. And I want to pass that on to someone else. So if you're somebody that's been peeking into the world of 3D, or you've been hearing the whispers of what's possible, or you already know how to do 3D, you just need to figure out how to tell your parents, your grandparents, your kids, your pets, what 3D is all about, this video is for you. Okay, let's jump in. You probably know this, but there are two main components to creating something in 3D. There's the object, and then there's the material. 3D objects are like the bones, like that, providing structure. And then the material is like your skin. It's providing the appearance. A material can literally just be an image wrapped around an object, like a slap bracelet on my wrist. So am I telling you that you can put any image on any object in 3D? Yeah, I am. That's the truth, you really can. If I wanted to put this image of my dog onto this object, a coffee cup, I could do that, easy peasy. Okay, that's a material in its simplest form. But what if we want there to be texture, depth, shine? That is where channels come in. There are channels for everything. Color, roughness, bump, opacity, reflection, and many, many, many more. One material has all of these channels built inside of it, and you can choose which ones you need to make your material come to life. This is where things get a little bit confusing because every program and every renderer has a different name for the same channels. I'll do my best to talk about these channels in a universal language so that it doesn't matter which program you're using. First channel we'll talk about is base color, also referred to as diffuse channel or diffuse color. You see what I mean? They're just all the same. By its name, base color is not just a spot where you go and select a color. You can also go there and select a base image. For example, if I was trying to make a concrete material, I could go in and just select gray as a color. Or I could import an actual photo of concrete, which would give me a much more realistic look. Okay, now that we have our base color, the next channel that I would naturally move to is the roughness channel. Depending on the type of concrete we're making, some areas are going to be worn down and sort of shiny, while other areas are much more gritty and rough. And this is the channel that allows you to show that variation. This is a good time to slow down and talk about how these channels actually work. Each channel has a place where you can upload an image. And you may be thinking, how's an image gonna tell me how much roughness I need? Well, let me tell you, these images are referred to as maps, and they tell the program which areas need more and which areas need less. Such as roughness, reflection, bump, can only read black and white maps. The white is going to show the area that's most affected, and then the black is going to be the area that's least affected. So if we wanted to add bump to our concrete material, all we'd have to do is take that original photo of concrete that we're using for our base color, put that image into Photoshop, convert it into a black and white image, export it, and then put it into the bump channel of our material. That's how all of this works. All of it, that's it. What if you wanted there to be even more bump and scratches than there were on that original image? Well, this is the cool thing. You can use an unlimited of these maps within these channels. So you could go into Photoshop and use brushes to create another bump map and then add that in addition to the one we already have in that channel. That's how most incredible materials are made. They're maps mixed with other maps, mixed with other maps to create these very realistic textures. The exact same thing goes for the reflection channel. If we were creating a window that had a couple of scratches on it, you know, like you would see in real life, then all you have to do is import a black and white image of some scratches, and that's gonna tell the program to make everything shiny except for those spots where the scratches are. You could also add reflection maps that look like fingerprints or smudges. Another thing worth noting is that the size of the actual maps that you're creating plays a huge role in the quality of your project and also the render times. For a large production, they may be using maps that are 16K. You know, like your TV might be 4K. Well, these textures, these maps are gonna be 16K. Using large images allows you to zoom way in on the material and see all the details in the texture up close. But you wouldn't want to do that for the things that you have way in the background. It's too heavy for your machine to have that many 16K maps. So what you would do is create smaller maps for the things in the background, larger maps for the things in the foreground. So much give and take in the 3D landscape. There's sacrificing quality here for speed here, and figuring out how to get your computer to focus on the most important elements of a scene. The materials that you create play a huge role in that whole process. Okay, I think that's all. I'm gonna pump the brakes. I'm gonna stop for today. You know, that's just sometimes how my videos go. It's kind of abrupt, but I just feels like the right amount of information that I've given you today. So I'm gonna pump the brakes again and I'm gonna stop. I am accepting Oragel donations, so if you have any extra Oragel, please send it to me. I would graciously accept that. I had a blast talking with you today. Thank you for watching. Please send this to anyone that you think might be interested. I sure do love you. I'll talk to you next week. See you Tuesday.